Today I have a distribution amplifier. This is actually a new one off eBay. It was only about $30 or something. But I thought this might be good if I get my CRT set up one day. It looks like it comes with a Euro plug. We've got an adapter though. Not the best idea, but you can always cut that off and put a Australian figure 8 plug on there, I guess, which I would recommend for travel use. A108C. I think this has got 8 outputs. We've got our input. Looks like you can loop it back out. That's right, there's a ground. Oh, it's just a screw in the end of an F connector looking thing. Oh, you can actually put a wire through the side there. It's got a hole in it, so it's just a lump of metal that looks like an F connector. Made in China. What does it tell us? Safety, indoor use only. 1 year warranty, though any warranty on eBay should be taken with a grain of salt, because often the sellers they either don't exist or they don't want to know about it. Come up with excuses and whatever, even when you get eBay's help person on the line. So, technical description: the distribution amplifier has been designed to meet the requirements of the modern integrated TV and satellite integrated reception system. IRS loop-through enables series distribution amplifiers to be connected directly to a multi-switch subscriber output. IRS loop-through is passive and passes all frequencies 87 meg to 2.34 gigahertz or something. So I guess that means that, yeah, if you've actually got like a satellite LMB or something up there, so maybe you can distribute the actual LMB through the building to actual satellite receivers. I guess that's what they're probably saying. What else did it say? IRS loop through permits 22 kilohertz tone as well as DISC commands or DISC commands to be passed backwards. Hence the distribution amplifiers are compatible with both legacy and DSCR multi-switches. Uses a terrestrial TV and radio distribution amp, MATV, which I think is master antenna television or something. The distribution amplifiers provide unrivaled low noise, high gain, blah blah blah. High rejection 4G filter included, and 15 dB gain control, which ensures that the A1XX can be applied to most any signal level scenario. Unit can be powered by the AC mains lead, or in the absence of mains can be remotely powered by any of the TERR outputs using a suitable power supply. Oh, that's interesting. Do not install in damp, humid, hot or dusty areas. Well, hot and dusty is usually where these things end up, in the roof space or something. Earth bond the distribution amplifier to earth bonding lug using minimum 6mm squared. Good. I guess that's in case it gets hit by lightning on the antenna or something. Single satellite and master antenna. Diplexer, triplexer, TV set-top box. So maybe that goes to a satellite receiver or something. Yeah, you got radio output, TV output. Yeah, I guess probably a satellite receiver. No, I don't see a... Oh, there it is. Yeah, there you go. There's your triplexer's got your LMB on it. Probably VHF and UHF antennas, and maybe FM as well. Is that round one? I don't know. Again, it's a triplexer of... We don't show an output on this one. Oh, it's got a terminator on it. Okay, so there's a terminator on the main feed through, and we've just got all the other. So we've got TV and FM outlets by the look, or FM DAB. Cascading, so antenna in, yeah, then loop out, loop through, and you can just keep looping more and more amplifiers in if you've got like a really big building. Probably one of these on each floor, or maybe more, going to a bunch of apartments or something. And what model was this one? A108. Not sure what the difference is. So, oh yeah, TERR frequency range, I assume is a terrestrial or whatever, 87 meg to 782, so I think that's the FM to UHF. 8 outputs, oh yes, there's different models, 2 output, 4 output, 6, 12 or 16. Satellite loop through, yeah, up to 2.35 megahertz, or 2.35 gigahertz I should say, 2350 megahertz. Class 3 read compliance, gain 12 dB. Noise figures, blah blah, sat through loss 4 decibels. Impedance 75 ohms, standard loop through passing 1318 volt, 22 kilohertz, and this DIS EQC. Mains operation 230 or 110. Remote DC powering, so it can run off 12 volts. Interesting. 40 milliamps, or up to 100 milliamps when you get to the bigger ones, including this one. LED power indicator, up to 6 millimeters squared earth wire. Dimensions, weight 510 grams for this model. Comes with some screws as well to screw it to the wall or whatever. Screw it to the woodwork up in the roof space. Oh, well, I guess now it says, well, I guess it automatically switches any voltage. What's it say here? Can't cut the wire. Don't know what that means. Oh, I certainly can cut the wire if I want to. Oh, we've got a power light, a very dim one at that. I think that's a little, is that a fake 5mm LED? What have we got there? That is a very cheapo LED, but maybe it's meant to be dim. I guess what we can do is feed some signal in. So we've got F2 power. Put the television signal in, and I guess see if it comes back out. Another F2 power. But this would be perfect if you're hooking up a lot of different non-AV CRT televisions, old ones, and you want them all to display the same picture, which is what I got it for. So that's all, looks to be working fine. I could add some other connectors to this. You can get F splitters. You can also buy leads pre-made from F connector to POW. And you can use some of these like wall plates. I actually managed to pick up some of these second hand for about $1 each with the inserts, and a whole bunch of computer network inserts as well, which I can get rid of if I don't want them in these, and use the old plates. You can get up to like 6 light switch plates, and you can buy them at Bunnings and stuff. I actually bought some RCAs because I want to set up some on the bench here, but they're not the cheapest. But these, yeah, I was paying like $1 for a whole plate, and just picked out the ones with the F connectors already fitted, and a couple of 2-ways and stuff. So these are just perfect for putting around wherever you've got some CRT TVs. And like I say, I can probably split the outputs because they're only going to be short. Can split the outputs of this splitter a couple of times as well. 2 or 3 times probably would be fine. And I'll just use some of this RG59 type cable. What is this? Belden 75 ohm, the quad shield type stuff, cable TV. You can even pick half-used rolls of this up for next to nothing at tip shops and stuff these days, or just buy whole rolls, not that expensive. And like this one, I've actually crimped you can buy crimp-on male and female power connectors, but the leads are so cheap it's often easier just to buy them pre-made if they're only short. But if you want to make special leads and F connector to go from into this sort of splitter and back out, and maybe split it another 3 times or something, and then, you know, put it onto these plates. These plates have just got F connectors on the back, so you just buy the crimp, and you can get one of the little stripping tools. And with these, you just get one of these stripping tools. You just put that on the end of these cables, put your finger in there and run it around a few times, circle it around the cable, take it off, just pull the pieces off, throw them away. And you just need your crimp on F connector and one of these crimping tools, which just squeezes that back bit. Same with these, I think are the same length. So it's just the easiest way to do it on earth is you just use the stripping tool, push the thing on. Sometimes they're going to be a bit hard to get on. You've got to use a pair of pliers or something to hold the connector and shove the cable in depending on the particular cable. These are usually steel center core. Some of these have quite a hard sheath on them, so they can be a bit hard to push on there. I just grab the connector with a pair of pliers and just twist it in. And they're quite simple to make. Not expensive to buy these connectors, and you can just whip up a heap of leads that you need really quickly. They're actually a brilliant system, the F connectors. The old days, the old splitters and stuff, you had the saddle clamp type design. You had to strip each cable by hand to a certain length, because they were often different as well, and then screw each one in with a clamp on the outside over the braid, and there's another clamp on the center one. Real pain to do, very slow. Whereas all this F connector stuff, if you've got these plates and stuff, just screw straight on the back, and then you can mount this on a wall or whatever, and you can just put your other lead to go to the TV or whatever on the front. I'm actually going to set the leads up, all this mess in my workshop here around the TVs. I've got to get round to mounting some of these, and that's why I bought some these gold coloured RCA ones from Bunnings. I think it's more like about $15 for 3 or something, so they're not cheap, and they do sell the F ones. And these are like a Clipsal type plate, even though I'm not sure if they are actual Clipsals. I think some of these might actually be the genuine Clipsals. They've got the Dita range or whatever. I think is basically the same. These ones are actually Dita brand from Bunnings, but they fit in there fine. And again, you've got the plug on the other side, so there's no terminating or soldering or anything. You just plug everything together using standard RCA prefab leads. And the Fs, you just make up your F leads for whatever you want. So just a short lead from the output of this to that. So just a male to male F lead that you can whip up in no time. And I can just feed this off the digital TV, or we can use a modulator to turn any DVD player or anything, any source you want, into RF. And then it's easy to distribute it to as many TVs as you like, basically. So like I say, this has got 8 outputs, and I'm sure I could split them again at least twice, if not more, and it'd still be good enough for display purposes. So that all seems to work and looks like a good little system. Very cheap. I was surprised how cheap this thing. I was actually looking for a second-hand one, and I realised they had these ones new for next to nothing, so you might as well buy a new one. Don't know how long they last, how good they are. Looks like I've got a plastic protective cover there. Better get rid of that because that'll go off over time. So it looks even better with that missing. Nice shiny surface there. But anyway, one of these days, hopefully I'll get all the TVs set up on some shelves and actually get this stuff running. So thanks for watching.